Hello, hi, Miss Fatima here. This is a recorded session for year 2. Yeah, year 2. Enjoy the session. So, for the main part of our lesson today, we'll be looking at pronunciation. And in particular, we'll be looking at the pronunciation of this sound, the. It's actually got the TH makes two sounds, and I'll be going through this in more detail in today's lesson. And I just wanted to say that as part of our phonics and reading sessions, sometimes I'll be incorporating pronunciation as a regular feature, actually. So today is like the proper sort of pronunciation session that we'll be having on the sound, on the letters TH, which makes either th or the. And I'm going to go through it in more detail. So now, the pronunciation, as I said, of a TH is actually, TH makes two different pronunciations. And I'll be giving you some guidelines to help you decide when to pronounce this or that when you're talking and when you're reading. And remember, at the end of the day, the more practice you do, the better you get at it. Now, the sound TH is actually a very common sound in the English language, but it's not very common in many other languages. Now, the sound TH, as I said, it's really common in the English language, and if you're having trouble pronouncing the correct TH sound, don't worry, don't feel embarrassed at all, because you're not alone. Many people struggle with this sound, but the good news is, with practice, you can get really good at making the correct TH pronunciation. It's a bit like when you go to the gym for the first time. You practice your muscles, and at the end of day 1, you go home and you're feeling really stiff, and your muscles are aching all over. And you can actually think of the pronunciation of the same way, because pronunciation comes from our tongue and mouth, and our tongue is actually a muscle. And the more we practice it, the better we get at pronunciation. So much like going to the gym, where the more you practice, the stronger you get and the less ache you feel. It's the same with your tongue. With practice, practice makes perfect, as they say. So now let's look at the position of the mouth. I'm just going to get a little bit closer to the camera now to just show you what I mean by the position of the sound. Now, when you're pronouncing the sound TH, your tongue needs to stick out a little bit. I'm just going to show you here. So, can you see my tongue? I've noticed a lot of children, when they're pronouncing the sound they don't stick out their tongue, so they end up saying z. Because when your tongue is inside, you either make the sound s or the sound z. But the correct way to pronounce the sound TH is to stick your tongue a little bit. Yeah, so just like the. And notice it is not free flowing. There's a little bit of tension between my upper teeth and the tongue. So yeah. So remember, your tongue needs to stick out a little bit. Yeah. And you can use your finger there as a guide, not too much, like that's wrong. Yeah. And not too much inside. That's incorrect. So just the right position, just stick it out a little bit. Okay, so that's the position of your mouth. Now let's look at the two different sounds that TH makes. The first one is what we call the voiced th sound, and this is voiced because you need to use your throat, you need to use your vocal cords. Your vocal cords are in your throat, yeah? So the first sound is v, v. And if you put your hand on your throat, you can almost feel the vibrations, v, v, yeah? So that's the voiced th, v, v, yeah? Now the second one is the unvoiced, yeah? The position of the mouth, the tongue is still the same, but it's unvoiced because I'm not going to use my throat. I'm now going to use my tongues. I'm going to fill my lungs. I'm going to fill them with air, and I need to push out the air. That's the second sound, yeah? So that's unvoiced, and this is the voiced th. V, 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 v. Voiced and unvoiced. Okay? Now, and when do we use voiced th, and when do we use an unvoiced th? That's a great question. Unfortunately, there is no straight answer to this, and I know that you love it when you ask a question and I give you the answer to it. It's just 1 + 1 = 2. There's no other way around it. But you know, with the th sound, there are a lot of exceptions, and unfortunately it's not possible for me to give you a straight answer, like this is when you use the voiced and that's when you use the unvoiced. So yeah, that's unfortunately the case. However, there are some guidelines that I can give you to help you remember in general, when to use the voiced th and when to use the unvoiced th. Now remember, I said guidelines, so these are not rules. So for that, there will be lots and lots of exceptions. Okay. So now let's look at the unvoiced sound first of all, which is the unvoiced th. So now, when the unvoiced, usually we use the unvoiced th when we are using content words that give meaning to a sentence, words such as nouns. So an example would be a thorn, or a thorn is usually what it's, a thorn. It's a prickly thing that you find in roses and some plants. That's a thorn, yeah. Or a thumb, yeah, thorn, a thumb. Or you can, for example, or even verbs like think, thought. Or you can even in adjectives such as thin, thick. These are all unvoiced, yeah. So generally when the th is unvoiced in content words that give meaning to a sentence. Like I said, like verbs. I've just given you examples of verbs and nouns and adjectives. And secondly, if the th is between two consonants, is usually unvoiced. If the th is in the middle of two consonants, is unvoiced. For example, bathtub, or faithful, or worthless. Yeah, bathtub is the bath that is in the toilet when you're having a bath. It's the bathtub. You go in the bathtub when you're having a relaxed bath. Faithful, someone who is trustworthy or unworthy, all of these. So the th, as you might have noticed, is unvoiced, yeah. And if the th comes at the end of a word, the th at the end of words is usually unvoiced. And remember, this is a general rule. There are exceptions. So an example would be mouth. So that's unvoiced. Mouth. Yeah. You can have strength. You have strength. You get strength from your muscles. You can have teeth. These are your teeth. Okay, teeth. And what else? Warmth. When you're wearing a jacket, it gives you warmth. Yeah, so notice these are all unvoiced. However, there are exceptions, and we will discuss these exceptions in just a minute. I'm just going to go over the voiced th now. Now, usually we used voiced th in structure words or function words. Now, a structure word is a word that you need to use in a sentence, but on its own, it doesn't really have much meaning, unlike the content words, which have a lot of meaning. So a structure word or a function word, an example of that would be things like, I've written some down here. You've got this pen, the flower, there, they're over there, though is like although, and then, and there's also them, there, and you can have, I think I've gone through most of them. These are structure word or function word. They give meaning to they are important for the structure of a sentence. Yeah, but on their own they don't have much meaning. So when you use th in these kind of structure word, the th is voiced. Yeah, like we've just been through it. The, this, that, and remember the position of the tongue. The. Yeah, you stick it out a little bit. Yeah, and the th between two vowels is usually voiced. Th between two vowels is usually voiced. I've got some examples here. So bother, yeah, when you bother someone, is you're troubling them. Or you've got worthy, yeah, worthy. Or you've got mother. These are, notice the th is between two vowels. The th is between two vowels. Yeah, so the th is voiced. Yeah, when it's between two vowels. Now the th at the end of remember earlier I said the th at the end of words is usually unvoiced. Remember when I said mouth, teeth, what else did I say? Fifth, and strength. I said all of those. Usually the th is unvoiced at the end of the words, with the exception if the th ends with an e, yeah, and then it becomes voiced. So an example is bathe or breathe. You've also got loathe. Loathe is when you hate something, or when you hate someone so much you loathe that thing. For example, I loathe tea with sugar. That means I don't like to add sugar in my tea. Yeah, I like my tea without sugar. So yeah, that's a little general rule. Now remember, so these are pretty much the guidelines that I talked to you about, but there are exceptions. I know, that's the English language. There's always lots and lots of exceptions. Now an example of an exception is smooth, clothes, frothy. Oh. Now, I'm looking at this and I know some of you are saying, but Miss Fatima, you said that smooth is unvoiced at the end, but that's smooth, I'm voicing that. And that's because there are lots and lots of exceptions. The guidelines we've just been through are merely guidelines. But at the end of the day, the more you read and the more you speak, the more you will understand the differences and the exceptions. Yeah. So please go through this video again and watch it again. And if you can find, in fact, if you can find some other exceptions, please put them, send them to me, and we can discuss. We can chat about them. We can share them amongst all our friends, and yeah, we can continue the learning that way. And if you have any questions, if any part of this video was not clear, please also write to me, and yeah, I'll be more than happy to respond, and we can have a discussion about it. Right, I have written down some sentences for us to have a bit of a practice, just a little bit of a practice, to look at some of the guidelines that we talked about. So I've got some examples here, some sentences. Yeah. So the first example I've got here is there are 3 of them over there. There are 3 of them over there. There are 3 of them over there. I've got another example here. At 3:30 on Thursday. At 3:30 on Thursday. 1,000 of those thrilling thinkers will gather. Yeah? Please read with Miss Fatima. At 3:30 on Thursday, and notice that I took a bit of a pause because there was a comma there. Yeah? 1,000 of those thinkers will gather. Yeah? And I've just got one last sentence for us to practice. Throw those things to Theo. Throw those things to Theo. Throw those things to Theo. Now, Theo is a name of a boy, okay? So that's the end of our TH sound practice today. Our next session will probably be a normal phonics session, but I'd like to incorporate more of these pronunciation sessions. Now, if you like today's session, please let me know. Write to me or through School Everywhere. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want us to do it differently, or if there's other sounds that you're struggling to pronounce, please write them to Miss Fatima. I'd like to know which sounds you're struggling with, and we'll practice them together. Yeah. And thank you very much for watching. And now we're going to go to our story part of the session. Yeah. Okay. See you soon. So for our story part for today, I've got a nice little story for you that you're all going to enjoy. And it's called How the Elephant Got Its Trunk. How the Elephant Got Its Trunk. How the Elephant Got Its Trunk. When elephants didn't have trunks, long ago, Eddie the elephant wanted to know. So, a long, long time ago, apparently elephants didn't have trunks. Now, little Eddie, he's an elephant, he wanted to know, why can't I reach that fruit in the tree? He was asking. Why doesn't ostrich look like me? He saw an ostrich. That bird is an ostrich, yeah? And so Eddie the elephant, he was asking all these questions. Why is giraffe so tall and spotty? Eddie the elephant is asking all these questions. Eddie's questions drove everyone potty. Eddie's questions drove everyone potty, means drove everyone crazy. Yeah, so he just kept asking and asking. Eddie always asked things like who and what and when and where. But the animals ignored him again and again. What does a crocodile have for his tea? He was asking. What does crocodiles eat for their dinner? No one replied. So he went off to sea. Down by the great green greasy river, he saw something slip and slide and slither. Crocodile! He went to ask the crocodile. Crocodile, what do you eat for your tea? I am not a crocodile. Don't bother me. Oh, it does look like a crocodile, but it's not actually a crocodile. So Eddie is just a little boy. He doesn't even know the difference between a snake and a crocodile. Eddie strode on down the long river bank. What is that great green greasy plank? Oh, he saw something green and slimy. Hello. Come closer, you curious chap. It was the crocodile. Doesn't he know that crocodiles are dangerous and snappy and that he could eat him? Oh dear, oh dear. It's so bad. Shall I turn the page? Oh my goodness. Croc grabbed Eddie's nose with a mighty snap. Let go, please, let go. You're hurting me, Eddie said. But it's elephant's nose that I like for tea. Oh dear, that's what Croc said. So Eddie, remember, asked him, what do you like for tea? And now Croc's tried to bite off his trunk. He hasn't got much of a trunk, and he's trying to bite it. And he's saying, it's elephant's trunk that I like for tea. Stretching and straining, Eddie jumped ashore. Whew! But Croc held on tight with his toothy jaw. So Eddie's pulling and Croc is also pulling. They're both going, I wonder what's going to happen next. This is turning into a sticky situation. Snake slithered down to help Eddie out. Psst. Bing! Croc let go of the rubbery snot. Boing! Uh-oh. What happened there? What happened to Eddie's nose? Did it grow longer? It did. It did, didn't it? Wow. Eddie's new nose made him proud. Now I can trumpet really loud, he said. No one could ignore the elephant now. He kept trumpeting questions. Who, what, when, where, how. Everybody was listening because he had a lovely long trunk. And how did I live without a trunk before? He kept asking that question. How can I pick up? I can pick up fruit, cool down, and so much more. Yes. Of course, every elephant has a trunk now. And this story told you exactly how an elephant got his trunk. The end. Yeah? Now that's the story map. Remember, it started with Eddie the elephant. There he is, doesn't have a trunk. He wanted to know what does a crocodile likes to have for his tea. He asked the snake. The snake told him, go away, I'm not a crocodile. And then he met a crocodile. The crocodile held on to his trunk and they were pulling and pulling. Eventually, when the crocodile let go, Eddie's trunk grew longer, and that's how elephants got their trunk. The end. Did you like the story? I think I liked it too. It's a funny little story, isn't it? Maybe you want to tell me how the giraffe got his long neck. Yeah? Maybe you can make up a story. Remember, this is fiction. It's not a real story. It's just someone just made it up, but it's very funny, isn't it? Maybe you can make up a story about how the giraffe got its neck, or how the lion got its mane. The mane is the big orange hair of the lion, yeah? Or you can choose an animal of your choice and write about it. Anything you want to write, I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, I hope you like the story today, and please go through the video of the TH sound, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.